What is the message the Niners are sending the rest of the NFL with
Yeah.
what they're saying, with their attendance, with the way they're approaching the beginning of this long journey?
Iggy and I have obviously talked about this a lot in the last few days, and we've both came up separately with the one word, weary, that they seem weary. That think of pushing
Yeah,
the bowl. Well, you used climbing a mountain again, like
that's
Mount
what they say.
Everest.
Yeah,
Yeah, Mount Everest. You're at the base camp and you have to go, and at a certain point, you have oxygen deprivation. It's really hard. It's a pain in the neck, and they did
yeah.
all of that last season, and they didn't get to the top.
No,
They didn't get to the top of Mount Everest, and here they're thinking, "Oh, we have to do all this again."
yes.
It's hard, and
We've done this so many times.
we so many times, and we don't do it. And
No.
the what I'm getting from a distance, and what Iggy's getting from being there is, we'll wait till we work hard because we're a little tired, we're a little weary now. We'll wait till training camp,
Mhm.
and I'm not sure that's the message you want to give the league or you want to give yourselves. What do you think, Iggy?
Yeah, it feels they keep saying like, "Boy, it feels like we just were in the Super Bowl."
Yeah,
So they're still physically tired, emotionally drained from what happened, and it's like instead of being up for what's in front of them, they're still preoccupied with what just happened. And I think maybe that's the Super Bowl hangover, like not just losing the Super Bowl, but losing the way you did with the lead late. It's hard to turn the page and look at the future. Even though you say, "Oh, that's the past." Like, yeah, but are you more focused on the opportunity in front of you or the opportunity that you just missed? And I think they're more focused on the opportunity they just missed.
I would have to agree with you. And
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily sure they're thinking about the Super Bowl. They just have all the physical and emotional weariness of it, and they're not ready to take the next step forward. And in a sense, they already missed the first step.
Yeah,
Missed the
it's like
first step.
let's stay with the metaphor of climbing Mount Everest. It's like they did the whole journey. They got what, 100 feet from the top? They got so close to the top that they could almost touch it. And that's gonna haunt them the rest of their lives. Like, we were there. I saw it. I thought I knew what it would feel like. I reached out to grab it and I couldn't grab it.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. As
Yeah.
opposed to we're gonna get it this year. We're gonna get it this year. Like, nah, it's hard to be closer than we were last year.
And it sounds like they're more focused on closer than we're going to get it. And well, let me say something. It's the role of the coach to get them focused on, we're going to get it. We were so close. It was wonderful. And this year we're going to get it. That's where the coach comes in. That's what
Right.
motivation is, right, Iggy? That's what a
Yeah. And
coach does.
I want to stick with the metaphor of the climbing the Everest. It feels like the players looked at Kyle as the tour guide they trusted for a long time. And now that they've been close to the summit twice and haven't reached it, feels like they're kind of looking at him like, maybe this time if we're 100 feet away from the summit, you're not going to be the guy who shows us how to get there. And that's tough. Like, we got to figure this one out on our own. That's a different
Right.
mentality.
Because we don't trust the Sherpa guide who's taking us up.
No, we've had unwavering trust in him for years, and he can't get us there. And it's not our fault. We're really good.
It's not our fault. So why should we participate in these dinky OTAs when it doesn't guarantee us anything? I'd rather just stand on the sideline and observe.
Yeah, Kyle doesn't. What's Kyle gonna say to us? Hey, you got to come to these OTAs so we can win the Super Bowl. Man, we tried it your way. It didn't work. Now we got to pace ourselves because we're getting older.
And look, he made a special request to Nick Bosa to come to the first version of the OTA, and he did. But he wasn't willing to extend himself for the second one.
Mm-mm.
His
Mm-mm.
loyalty to Kyle only extended to one practice.
Yeah, here you go. Don't ask for more. Kyle said thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Whatever you give me.
It's funny.
Anyway,
You think of Kyle as being one of the strongest coaches in the league. He
I don't
right
think of him
now,
as
it doesn't seem like it.
Iggy. I don't think of him as one of the. I think of him as, and I use the word nerd for him, but I don't mean it in a bad way. I think of him as a nerd who likes to sit in his room and make up plays.
Mhm.
Um, I think he's a nerd. He's one of these geeks who's great at that. But I don't think of him as an inspirational leader.
No, but I think his players thought that he was so good at drawing up plays that he was a real asset to their quest for the Super Bowl victory. But now I think they're looking at him as, can this guy help us?
Can
I mean,
get
he
us
can
to
help
the
us
top?
get close, but can he help us get over the top? So
Yeah.
far, no.
And so let's come back to the players. If there's weariness, it's there. It's
Mhm.
there. And so what the weariness reflects is a deep down lack of belief.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw George Kittle's press conference the other day, but he's
No.
usually the antithesis of weary. He's always kind of like turned up and bubbly, and he's not really like that anymore. He seems deflated. Maybe he won't in a few months, but right now he seems deflated. And when you ask him about the Super Bowl loss, he really talks about having to come to terms with losing two of them and how he's talked to Joe Staley about it and Garrett Selleck about it. It almost feels like he's halfway in retirement and coming to terms with the fact that he won't win a Super Bowl. And I haven't heard this team talk like that. Like they're almost resigned to the fact that it's not going to happen for them, at least the older players.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. What is Kittle rehabbing from?
A core muscle injury. It's serious. And he played through it for half
Okay.
the season last year. And he said that the Niners didn't find anything wrong when they did a scan on him.
Okay. I'm sure the Niners have the best doctors.
Of course.
I am. I'm sure they have the best doctors.
It just shows that
So-
Kittle sacrificed a lot and played through a lot
Yeah.
and has maybe some reason to feel deflated. Like his body could be going soon. He's going to be 31 this year. And he easily could have shut it down last year halfway through, but didn't because
He believed.
there was a quest.
There was a quest. They saw the top of the mountain. He believed. Well, it's
They
very
really thought they were going to get there last year, Dad. You know they did. I don't know if they feel that way right now.
No. I would say there's doubt.
Yeah, last year it's like, look, we've never lost a game that Brock Purdy started and ended. We're the best team. We're going to prove it. They couldn't. And it wasn't Brock's fault.
Doubt is a bitch.
Doubt is a bitch.